Poa dada.
Poa.
Poa. Mimi, niko poa. Hapa.
Deal.
There. What is it? How do you say there in Swahili?
I don't know. I know to say hapa, which is
Here.
There.
There. Over there. Where y'all at is a lot
Listen,
going on.
It's a lot.
It's a lot,
And
guys.
the DMs are just flooded.
Yo, I'm overwhelmed right now.
Because they're like, now that things are happening, they're like scrambling for solutions. You know.
Welcome to the channel if you're new. I'm Ashley. This is Naila.
Mambo.
Bess. We're here in Tanzania. We're in our family village farm. And we just finished a beautiful staycation content plan, and we're just getting all of these messages about IT shutdowns, planes being grounded,
Presidents being shot,
presidents not endorsing their vice presidents for whatever reason. I mean, these are not new signs.
No.
The writing has been on the wall for centuries. And at this point, decades. And at this point, minutes. It's so you guys, you know, the purpose of the content that we share on both of our platforms, Witness Our Divine, and this platform has always been to provide access to information, education for free.
Absolutely.
And these 5-year plans or 10-year plans, or someday I might do it, maybe if it gets bad enough. Well,
The time is here now.
the time is here. And at the end of all of this, we share this information, not because it is giving us all positive feedback, because there's a lot of negative feedback that we get for sharing this message. There's a lot of challenges that we face for sharing these messages that we don't talk about. Why? Because we focus on the growth, the opportunity, not the challenges.
Right. Yeah.
But ultimately, because we want to help people. That's what we've been called to do, is to serve people that desire something better. And that something better is also just safety.
Basic safety, which is a luxury in the U.S.
Yeah. It's a luxury only for the rich.
Yes.
America is a great place if you're rich and you lack melanin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's horrific. And I saw 12 of them times 2, over 2 dozen of them here in Africa, in Zanzibar, last week. And they're trying to figure out how to make a way. And half of them are migrating to Canada when they return back to the U.S. So what do we say to the people, given, I don't even know what to say.
I think at this point we say it's time. It's time. And this is not the time to be very meticulous, right? And be very nitpicky. Because I think a lot of people, they get stuck in that nitpickiness and that perfect, everything has to be, it's never going to be that.
No.
It's always going to be more uncertainty than certainty.
Yeah.
Even with the planning.
Literally.
Even with the planning. Even with all the things and all the T's and I's being crossed and dotted. There are still going to be uncertainties. But if you lack the confidence in yourself, that's really why there's still so many people in the U.S. The U.S. has not been livable for so long. Even before we left, it wasn't livable when we were there either. But for people to have been staying this long, this is not a matter of like access to amenities. You know, that's not why you're there.
No.
You're there because of a deep, deep insecurity of your own choices. A deep, deep insecurity of making decisions that other people aren't making.
But it's not that easy.
It's not.
It's not.
And neither is flying, being an astronaut. But
Neither-
they do it.
Yeah.
You see?
Neither is publishing a book. Neither
Right.
is having children. Neither is getting a root canal. Like, things are hard.
And it's interesting because we always tell our children, if you're a parent, your child tries to do something, they're like, it's just, I can't do it. It's just so hard. What do we tell them? Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Don't say can't. You
Don't
can do
say
anything.
You can do it, right? But now as adults, we're very quick to be like, you can't do that. I can't do that. You know? And so really sometimes it feels like we're speaking a different language to people because we're speaking from a place of deep security and they're speaking the language of deep insecurity. So there's this clash and there's this desire to bring us back to an insecure space, right? This is why, are you coming to visit? When are you coming to visit? Coming to visit prison? That doesn't really sound like a lot of fun to me.
Coming to visit the ghetto.
The ghetto.
A crime-infested ghetto.
The slums of the world. No thanks. But you're
dark,
welcome. You're
desolate.
Welcome. You're welcome to come to abundance.
You're welcome to come to abundance. Abundance is awaiting you if you feel worthy. And I'm finding that this reluctance has turned into the rest of the world is now seeing the downfall and is looking at America with hesitation and just not even, there's literally no respect.
Yeah.
There is this, and I want to address this conversation that has been happening very frequently of, well, Africans come to America. You guys are talking so bad about America, but Africans are here. They're coming here every day. Yes, but they have somewhere to go when things pop off. They have another country to return to, land that they own, homes that they own without any mortgage, family that they have awaiting their return. They are not bought into the concept of building a land or taking back a land that was never theirs. They are there to get money and return it back to their homeland, or they have bought into the propaganda that this is the land of the free. And once they get there, they're also in our DMs as well, trying to figure out how to return home. I've worked with several continental born Africans from Rwanda, from Congo, from Senegal, from Sierra Leone, from Ghana, from Nigeria, South Africa, that are trying to figure out how to return home, but they're stuck in the debt that has anchored them into America.
They were trapped, just
and
like we were.
Yes, but please believe they're also trying to return.
Absolutely.
And this content is also to encourage Africans that have a desire to travel or move because they don't think opportunities are there. Stay where you are, brother and sister. Like,
and a lot of
stay.
African people have lost their lives being in America, right? Searching for something that was already in their home, searching for something that was already in them. And so, yes, we've all been indoctrinated to believe that there's no value here, and it's the biggest lie. And also, Africa we have so many people on this continent, and so when you look at statistically how many people are leaving to go to America, it's so statistically small. So when people say it, you can tell their worldview is so minute. Yeah, it's so minute, and so they'll say the Africans is like, that's extremely small amount of people that are leaving. We still have billions of people
billions
on the continent.
It's like,
why are we
10 times more people in Africa than there are in the U.S.
So why are we focusing on the small amount? And this is another thing that the West does, is they make you focus on the minority. You focus and you give a lot of attention to the minority things, but the reality is the majority of Africans are staying in Africa. And the majority of Black people in America are staying in America. It's only very few of us that are coming here. So,
what do you do now? We beat up on you enough. We get it.
With love. Right?
With love.
It's not easy to say these things.
It's not.
We have family. We have friends that we care about, right?
Yeah. That we are wishing would also make a move
Yeah.
because we've been over here creating, making moves, doing the things to create a pathway. But at the same time, you know, time is running out. There is an expiration date for all of us. And when you act like you have millions of years left to live, you're doing yourself and your children a huge disservice. And on the topic of children, there was a lady that commented on our last video that was like, I live in Atlanta and my children are safe.
Yo, that's
and there was emojis of just laughing emojis because
that's just a bold-faced lie. I mean, it's literally documented how many children are being killed. It was a boy they found the other day in the woods.
Yeah, but we already know this. We know this. And it's not about just safety physically. What about mentally? America is raising the most anxious, depressed, addicted, obese, medicated youth of our lifetime in history. And just because they're on tablets, phones, PS5s, doesn't mean they're safe. Actually, they're being exposed to things that they have no business being exposed to as children, right? And so we're not saying we've got it all figured out, but what we can say is while we've been here, our children are outside on bicycles, playing hide and seek,
learning other languages,
swimming
year round,
playing year round,
going to schools and being pushed to be intelligent, right?
Yeah. And so that is what childhood is supposed to look like. And that is what safety looks like. The ability to roam free without being constantly hovering over them out of fear of abduction or premature death by a firearm, which is the number one killer of children in America. So guys, this is an emergency, a PSA.
It is.
At this point, how much more has to take place for us to realize we need to take action now? So preferably, I'd prefer for you to leave this video and book your flight.
That would be ideal.
That would be ideal. But actually, book your flight and then book a ticket for the Travel, Move, and Do Business virtual conference for Tanzania. And I know many of you have a desire to do South Africa, and we will do that later in the year, but I don't even know, from a timing perspective, if that, is going to happen, because there's no telling what could happen with American leaving the country in the next 6 months.
It could change at any point.
Join the conference, even if you have questions about South Africa, and I'll do my best to answer them. But the focus will be on Tanzania. And this was my gateway onto the continent. I felt like it was an incredible need to go from that to this. I needed this. And I think most of us do, because South Africa can feel so similar that the requirement to adjust just doesn't happen the way it needs to happen for most African Americans. There is this desire to flex in a way that is because you can, because of the currency exchange. But in reality, we need to sit down and we need to be in nature and we need to heal and we need to restore and we need to be in a culture where the sovereignty is still very clear. So we know the importance of why we are here to return. Right? So book your ticket. The link will be in the description. And in the meantime, while you are there, Dada, what are some suggestions that you have for them with how to maneuver during these really questionable times?
So that's a great question. I think the first thing you want to do is divest from content that is instilling fear and doubt into you, because you don't realize how much content we consume on a daily basis that makes you question what you believe, question what you need to do. And this idea that Africa is just something that it's not, is deep, deep inside of us, right? Inside of our people. So it's really important to check the type of content you're engaging in. Ashley's very intentional about putting out positive realities up on the content. That's what on the continent. So that's what you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with. Surround yourself with images, information, and understanding that is going to root your decision deeper and not cause you to feel very uncertain, right? And this is why the conference, the virtual conference, is so important, because you're going to get to actually speak to us. You're going to get to actually speak to people who have done it, who are doing it, and who have been here for years now. And that's who you want to be around. You don't want to be around the people who haven't done it, who want to discourage you, who want to make fun of you, who want to ostracize you, who want to tell you, oh, you ain't going to be able to stay. That's what people told me. They was like, oh, you'll be back.
Same.
Yeah, you'll be back. Right. And so you really
you'll never make it out there.
Yeah. And another thing we talked about this is don't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunately that's the reality.
That's a bar.
Don't tell anyone what you plan on doing, because the amount of negative things you're going to start hearing and believing about your decision are going to make your decision harder.
Yep.
So join us at the summit. We're going to affirm your decision. We're going to give you all the information you need. We're going to give you the community that you need. And that's all you can really ask for at this point, because like we said, there's going to be more signs. This is not the last sign that America is not sustainable. There's going to be more, and the more signs, the more people are going to be trying to all exit at the same time, and that's going to cause a lot of chaos. So you need to be ahead of the game. I'm trying to give you a foot in the door before everybody try to push you through the door, right?
And it closes.
Right? So, yes. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all at the summit.
We'll see you there. We'll see you at the summit.